The apparent motion of the sun, and in particular the solstices, always had an important meaning for ancient people, thanks to their immediate observability. We have talked about the winter solstice. Now we'll talk about the summer solstice. Solstices are the moments in time in which the sun rises at its farthest point on the horizon with respect to due east. The sun rises at north of east at the summer solstice, and at south of east at the winter solstice. At the summer solstice, the sun also reaches its highest point in the sky, leading to the longest amount of daylight and the shortest night. After the summer solstice, which astronomically occurs between June 20 and 21st, the day shortens and the night time grows. The summer solstice was an important reference in time for ancient cultures, like the Egyptian, since it heralded the upcoming flooding of the Nile. We find a reference to its centrality in the Egyptian society in the alignment of the pyramids in the Giza plain. The monumental funerary complex, built by 3 different pharaohs, consists of 3 pyramids of different dimensions, and the Sphinx. The 3 pyramids were built by Khufu, Khafra, and Menkaura, from the biggest to the smallest one. The project carries a specific orientation with the apparent motion of the sun. In particular, at the summer solstice, the sun sets exactly in the middle between the 2 largest pyramids, those of Khufu and Khafra. And from the terrace of the Sphinx, it appears to set exactly above the giant statue. This image represents the hieroglyph of the Akhet, symbolizing the death of the sun, and therefore the pharaohs, and its entrance in the afterlife to be reborn. The entire complex becomes not only a huge funerary project, but a clock to measure time and foresee the seasons, based on the apparent motion of the sun. The period around the summer solstice is also called Midsommar, by the name of an old pagan festival made famous by Shakespeare's play, A Midsummer Night's Dream. The summer solstice doesn't mark the middle of summer, though, but its beginning. So where does the name come from? It comes from the old Celtic calendar, in which the season of summer began in May, with the celebrations of Beltane, and ended at the beginning of September, with the harvest season. The midsummer, therefore, fell in the middle of these festivals. Midsummer festivals, strictly linked to May rituals, are also a celebration of nature and its power, a sort of thanksgiving for all the products of the earth, and in preparation for the harvest season. Midsummer is still one of the major festivities in Northern Europe, in particular in Sweden, where it's celebrated with flower wreaths, dances, and fresh fruits. During these days, the northern countries witness the spectacular phenomenon of the midnight sun, during which the sun never sets or rises, but just lowers its position in the sky. Astronomically, the summer solstice falls around June 21st, but the most important celebrations are held on June 24th, the day of the summer solstice in the old Julian calendar. Midsommar falls on June 24th, when the Catholic religion celebrates the birth of St. John the Baptist. According to the Bible, St. John was Jesus' relative, and he was miraculously born to Elizabeth. John became a preacher and baptized Jesus in the Jordan River. His birth is celebrated 6 months before Jesus' birth, on June 24th, as was indicated in the Gospel. St. John's birth overlaps with the celebration of the summer solstice and is one of the most important temporal references in the Catholic liturgical calendar. The remaining ones are the Annunciation of Jesus on March 25th, the Conception of St. John on September 23rd, Jesus' birth on December 25th, each one corresponding to an equinox or a solstice. The cult of St. John is of great importance within the Christian religion, with many orders, included that of the Templars, deeply devoted to him. Midsummer is still strongly celebrated even in the Mediterranean region, where the pagan rituals join with the Catholic ones. In these rituals, we find the common elements of fire, water, and flowers. During the night of St. John, people in southern Europe celebrate by lighting up huge bonfires. In Catalonia, the Night of St. Joan is celebrated as one of the most important festivals of the region. During the night of the 23rd of June, bonfires are lit along the streets of town and villages, as a reference to its purifying nature. A common tradition between Catalonia and Sardinia is the ritual of jumping in pairs over a bonfire, as a sign of companionship, mutual support, and eternal friendship. Besides fire, another important element of the rituals of St. John is water. From purifying baths to healing potions, all across the Mediterranean region is custom to gather flowers the night of St. John and immerse them in water, to use it the next day to wash one's face, because the water of St. John was thought to have healing and purifying properties. In Sardinia, gathering water from natural fountains in absolute silence was also a purifying ritual. The night of St. John was considered a night of magic and prophetic dreams, and from Sweden to Sardinia is accompanied by divination rituals. With the help of flowers and plants, Sardinian women attempted to foresee their future husband. Midsummer Night, or the Vigil of St. John, or the night of the summer solstice, broadly remains a moment of magic and renovation in the general cultural perception, the culmination of the light and the slow descent towards winter.